You make those, you've got a lot of good shots to win.
And they are trying to get to their 13th championship match. Just an incredible run since they won their first in 1992. They have been the dominant force in the college game. Carson blocked. They'll go back to Jessica. Block is up again, and she gets over the top of it.
Sensing a little more life out of the Trojans there, cutting that deficit down to just 5. Geisen having a little more success now. They were getting blocked earlier, controlling this Stanford offense a little bit better by serving tougher.
Ailes with the pass to Kehoe to Kleinman. The antenna comes into play. Point SC.
And it started with another tough serve from Carrico. Not a great pass from Ailes. And the set going to where Kleinman could not even touch the ball.
Waller crushes that one. Back up to a 5-point lead. They've been up by as many as 9 here in game 3.
Waller hit a lot of middle in high school, so she's capable of hitting that quick set in front of the setter. Gerard went behind. It's a really tough combination to stop because either player can go to either place.
Kocher. Boy, we have not heard much from her in games 2 and 3. Trying to come back alive here in the 3rd. The 5 seed, Southern California, and the top seed, Stanford Cardinal, in our first national semifinal. Beth Mullins, Karch-Kirai, and Kathy Nelson here at Arco Arena. Penn State and Cal in our 2nd semifinal, which you can see live tonight on ESPNU. Championship match will be Saturday night. It's a 9 o'clock Eastern on ESPN2. Lichtman with the serve. Carrico looks to Geisen. Kehoe to Kleinman. Long point USC. Let's check in with Kathy Nelson.
Thanks, Beth. We've got a contrast in styles with our coaches. John Dunning, Nick Haley, they both won a number of national championships. John Dunning just cool and collected on the bench. Very analytical about his team. On the other side, Nick Haley has been working the sideline up and down. He's been his team's biggest cheerleader. Makes every single play. He's living it with his team right now.
One of the things that Coach Dunning's players love about him is the trust he shows in them, asks them for a lot of their input and puts it into their scouting reports and into their tactics, and they really appreciate how much trust he really has in all of his players, especially Kehoe as the setter.
Barboza gets the kill. Cynthia working it now to the tune of 13 kills and hitting close to 400. 21-15 Stanford lead. They have managed to keep Kocher quiet. We talked about this earlier. If you're relying on one big swinger, if you can limit her ability to rack up the kills, that could spell trouble. Kehoe. Faluka hammers it home. Here's the job that they have done on Asha. Look at game 1. And since then, 9 kills on 18 attempts, and since just 6 for 23.
Really hot in that first game. That's why they won by 7.
And here's a closer look at Asha's match thus far.
Well, she was really strong in game 1. USC had the matchup, the rotation matchup that they wanted. They have not gotten that in game 2 and 3 as they keep trying to twist that rotation around the dial.
And as a result, Stanford has taken over control of this match, even things up in game 2, and now with the advantage here in game 3. Well, we've got the Men's College Cup coming your way this weekend, a pair of semifinals. First-time College Cupper Virginia Tech taking on Wake Forest, the highest seed left in the tournament. That's Friday at 5 Eastern on ESPN2. And then unseeded UMass meets Ohio State Friday night at 7:30 Eastern on the U, the NCAA Men's College Cup, presented on ESPN by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. As we watch the Trojan band, here are the last 6 champs on the men's side. UC Santa Barbara breaking through to win it all last year for the first time. Southern Cal Trojans trying to continue a trend. It's been a great fall for athletics at USC. The women's soccer team winning the national championship for the first time in school history last weekend. The football team will be playing in the Rose Bowl against Illinois. In fact, both these schools have won national championships already in the fall. Stanford's got one as well. So here's what they've done at Southern California. The men's water polo team losing to Cal in their NCAA tournament. It's been a great fall, actually, all around the Pac-10. Kehoe to Kleinman out of the back. Carrico is going to go to Copenhagen, off the block and wide. Point SC. Copenhagen now with a dozen kills. Diane, the senior from Saratoga, California, trying to extend her career. And then the service error from Kotcher.
Copenhagen doing a nice job of coming back from that sports hernia injury, and USC did not expect to have her. If she wants to continue her career in volleyball, she'll probably have to have some type of surgery, but if she had had it during the season, she would not be playing here now.
Are we seeing what Mick Haley told us yesterday? Not the velocity probably from Copenhagen, but much savvier with her swings now and having to read the defense as she gets the block there.
He definitely said she does not have her true velocity back. She's guarding a little bit, probably trying to keep herself healthy so she can play front row and back row, but they benefit from her experience so much.
She passed up on the chance for surgery, which would have ended her career. She wanted to try and come back and be with the team and make a run at a national championship.
Would have ended her USC career, but if she wants to continue playing volleyball, some of the players go off to play in professional leagues in Puerto Rico or in Europe or in South America. If she were to hope to do that, she'd probably need some kind of a surgery, but doing a great job of coming back and helping this Trojan team to the semis.
And she and Geisen are from that St. Francis High School powerhouse that Jim Plunkett's daughter played on, as he reported to Kathy Nelson earlier. Kleinman misses on that attempt. USC trying to hang around here in game 3. The longer this thing goes, the better for them. They haven't lost a 5-game match all year long. 8-0 if they can get it that far.
That is exactly right. Last year, they still have seared in their memory 3-3 tie against Hawaii in game 5 of the regionals. They gave up 11 straight points and ended up going on to lose 8-0 this year. They would love to make this go a game 5. They have been undefeated in game 5. Like you said, 8-0 in game 5s this year.
Well, now they are within 4 points here after Stanford has held court throughout this third game as Waller tools the block for the kill. She had herself a whale of a regional with a career-high hitting percentage in the semis against Cal Poly and then a career-high kills number in the region final against UCLA. Kehoe to Kleinman. Jericho tried on 2-0. Barboza out of the back. Back down by Copenhagen. Free ball Stanford. Ailes to Kehoe to Kleinman. No. Geisen with the counter. And she'll get it. Five kills for Geisen.
USC hanging with Stanford, but the deficit has been about the same this whole game. USC is going to have to turn up its serving, try to get some misses out of Barboza if they can. As happened a couple of times last weekend, to try to win this game or try to force it to go 5 later on.
Kotcher could not track that down, so another kill for Alex Kleinman. She has 10 now to become the 3rd Cardinal into double digits with Akinradawo and Barboza. Kotcher leading the way for Southern Cal with 16 kills. Kehoe, look at her check the defense, goes to Waller. Gerard. Kocher. Kehoe chases it down, and then the rejection in the middle. Big block from SC.
But you can see with Kleinman in the front and Kocher in the front, Kleinman helps neutralize her. They keep the ball in play. Stanford didn't win that point, but that's the rotation, that's the matchup that SC is trying to avoid. Keep Kleinman, if they can, away from Kocher, neutralizing her.
Waller with the kill. 8 now for Aaron. Cassidy Lichtman will check in to serve. As Kathy alluded to, you couldn't find two coaches with this kind of success that are more different on that sideline. Mick Haley is working it, and the composed John Dunning over there on the other sideline.
We could even see it in practice yesterday. Haley a little more intense, telling his players, stop talking. I want to see you make a decision and make this play, even though it's just a public practice. And meanwhile, Dunning's talking about how, hey, you know what? He said, teams that get too serious here usually stink. So he tried to keep it a little looser, as Russ Rose tried to do with his Penn State crew coming up in the next semifinal.
Dunning is one championship away from becoming the winningest coach ever with 5 titles. Haley is one championship away from tying Dunning and Don Shaw, who won 4 as the previous coach at Stanford.
Here tonight, we got to say hello to him before the game, talking about some of the strategy that he expected.
The only 2 that have won titles at 2 different schools. Then you got Coach McLaughlin at Washington, who has won championships with both the men and the women. With the women at Washington a couple of years ago, and with the SC men before he got into the women's game. Akinradawo.
That was an amazing play. It looked like it was too high for her, and then she elevated some more, made good contact, and tapped it down. You're right. You're talking about McLaughlin, the only coach to have won both a men's title and a women's title, having made the transition from men's to women's now at University of Washington.
Game point here for Stanford. And they'll have to hold up on the celebration as Copenhagen finds the deep corner.
It'll be interesting to see again. Haley will probably spin that rotation for game 4, see what kind of a matchup he can get, see if he can get Kocher away from Kleinman.
Another game point, Kleinman to Kehoe. Alex just has to push it across. Chance for Southern Cal. Copenhagen missed it long, and the game goes to Stanford.